Guys, absolutely insane week for the stock market. Nearly $1 trillion in tech stock market cap was completely wiped out this week. Amazon down 14%, Microsoft down 8%, Google down 4%, Meta down 8%, Oracle down 17%. We covered that in a video earlier this week. You can check that out here. India also, India's IT index, their index took a huge hit, dropping nearly 7%. Also worth noting, Google only dropped 4%. I would bet that that deal they made with Apple to get on all of their iPhones is playing a big part. That's huge news that we covered a few weeks ago. I'll post up there. But the reality is, like, what does this mean for your career? What do these stock collapses mean towards your ability to remain relevant, respected, and financially free? How does this impact your job? How does this impact your life? We'll get to that in just a minute. First, I want to take a quick look at what's actually happening here and why it's happening, because this is actually huge. So first off, all of these companies announced huge spending plans for 2026. Google, get this, these numbers are insane, guys. Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon collectively plan to spend $630 billion this year. They plan to spend $630 billion this year on AI. And quite frankly, it looks like the investors are starting to show some nerves when it comes to all this AI disruption. If there's one thing that we know that markets and investors like, it's stability. It's predictability. You know, it is kind of funny how they don't think of themselves as gambling. Like if you're out there day trading, you're probably gambling. But the reality is that, you know, these high-level, sophisticated investors, all this stuff that's happening here, like, they don't like uncertainty. And it seems to me that the volatility that comes along with these AI investments is leading to that uncertainty and volatility. And again, you may disagree. I want to hear your comments, so put them below with what you think. But the next thing that kind of happened this week that is really big is AI agentics really hit the main stage in a huge way. OpenAI and Anthropic both released these autonomous AI agent systems this week. We also saw Claudebot and Kimi K2 get released, or at least Kimi was out, but these AI agent systems got really big primetime press. We actually covered Claudebot in a video a few days ago. You can check out that video here. And you know, this just completely changes the way that software is developed, the way that we operate in the world. It's absolutely actually insane when you think about what AI agents are capable of doing. And the reality is, the more AI agents there are, the more volatility in the market we're going to see. And you can see this in the comments below, guys. I think in January, we had over 1,000 comments. And what's funny to me is the difference of opinions that I see with the software developers and software engineers in the comments. I'm not a software developer. I'm in marketing, and I track conversions and traffic and conversions and all that good stuff, views and clicks and subscription conversions and all that good stuff. But that's not what this is about. That's what I do. But when I see what the software developers say in the comments, it's really interesting. It seems like half of the software developers say that AI agents are insane, and they're writing all this code, and they're developing software so fast, and it's amazing, and they're so productive. And then the other half of software developers say the code is crap, it makes tons of mistakes, it doesn't understand context, it doesn't know what it did 5 minutes ago. So it's really interesting, this dynamic playing out right before our eyes. It's very, very interesting. And I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm kind of inclined to see it both ways. But what I do think, though, is that the AI agents are going to dramatically change the way that software is developed. And I think that that's something that we are seeing play out in real time. And, you know, there's this possibility when we look at what the stock market is thinking. They're seeing all these AI agents get dropped. They're seeing these huge valuations on tech companies. They're seeing huge, like, enormous spend. I mean, we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars. It's really kind of mind-blowing. But there's a possibility, guys, that, you know, I do marketing for a SaaS company. We're kind of talking about the future and our future goals and exit strategies. Like, there's a possibility that AI agents are just gonna write all our software in the future. You're not gonna need your HubSpot account. You're not gonna need your Salesforce account. You're not gonna need Monday. You're not gonna need Slack. You're just gonna have an AI agent build it out for you exactly how you want it. And I know that some of the software developers out there are gonna say, Mark, that's impossible. It's not gonna work. You know, maybe, but I don't know. I think that that's where it kind of leads to some of the volatility. You know, with Claudebot, for example, I saw examples of someone just asked their Claudebot to solve a problem for them, and it realized that in the process of solving that problem, that it was actually going to need to develop its own CRM, and so it just did it. Was it perfect? No, it was messy, but again, this is the worst that AI is ever going to be, guys. And hold on to that thought. We're going to talk a little bit more about AI agents in just a moment, because I think it is also worth noting that just seeing these AI agents out there and kind of completely taking over the IT space absolutely crushed the Indian index. I mean, really, really bad, because these types of services and software and development are roughly 40 to 70% of these Indian IT firms' revenue. So really, really bad for them. You know, what it seems to me, you may agree, you may disagree, but what it seems to me is that it seems like we might be in some sort of an AI hype bubble. And these banks, these investors are concerned with the volatility and a lack of attributable return on investment. You know, we've covered this for weeks. If you're subscribed to the channel, you would already know that, you know, companies are pretty commonly doing things like saying, hey, we're laying off a bunch of staff because our AI is so good, we don't need humans anymore. We're just gonna use the AI. We saw this with Mark Benioff over at Salesforce. I'll post a link to the video. They laid off, he said he's, quote, laying off half of his customer service staff because the AI agents, quote, are able to do it better. It's rather staggering what's happening. It's just crazy. And when you see this amount of volatility, that's gonna give investors cold feet. Now, by the way, just a side note, this doesn't mean that AI is dead. This doesn't mean that tech is dead. You saw 1 trillion in market cap wiped out, but we see companies like Oracle, for example, had a big bump earlier today. And you know, this stuff moves and shakes. But there's a quote that really sticks in my mind from Bill Gates, and if we look historically over the history of technology, we see that what happens is there's always a hype when a new technology comes out. But what we see, and here's something from Bill Gates, he says, we overestimate what technology can do in the 1 year, over a 1 year period, but we underestimate what it can do in 10 years. And I think, guys, that's where we're at. I think that people are getting so hyped, so excited, they're installing these apps, they're trying all these things, they're, you know, talking about all this stuff, and they're saying, like, what's ended up happening is it's not coming to fruition that quick over the 1 year, but over 10 years, the world could be completely different. We don't actually know. And guys, that is the concept. That is the key theme of this channel here, guys, is that the tsunami is coming. The tsunami is absolutely coming. Everything is going to be different in the next 10 years. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 10 years. You shouldn't know what you're doing in 10 years. But what we do know is that change is coming. It is happening in real time. Every day, new news comes out. And again, with this volatility, with this unknown, you know, investors are going to get cold feet. But what does this mean for you? What does it mean for you? What does this mean for you, for your career? How does this impact you? Well, the first thing I would say here is that AI investment is too big to fail at this point. If you want to be relevant, you've got to use the tools. I mean, these companies are just spending enormous amount of money on AI. And you know, we've talked about this before. If you want to be successful within an organization or to a client, you need to know the problems that they have. And one of the problems that they have is they're spending all this money, they need to see that return. Is your function in your organization, in your team, to your clients, does it properly connect with that goal? Are you able to help them turn that investment into a greater return? Hold that thought, we'll get to more in that in a moment. Because again, there's, I think, 3 fundamental changes that we're seeing in real time. So the first of which is that AI isn't just replacing the execution of tasks. It's actually starting to replace the coordination of tasks. And that's what we kind of alluded to earlier when we look at AI agents performing a stream of many, multiple, sometimes unpredictable tasks in order to solve the initial problem. So for example, you give one prompt, like, hey, help me find more customers for my business, and it goes out and it starts DMing everyone on LinkedIn, and it creates a form that people can fill out, and then it's calling people on the phone, and it's doing all this different stuff. It's creating its own CRM. It starts to have a mind of its own. And by the way, we don't know where this is going, but what we do know is that when we saw Claudebot take off, it was doing some things that people did not expect, for sure. And my software developer guys out there might say I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, it was doing some stuff that people did not expect. So that's AI is starting to take on a mind of its own. It's taking on more responsibility. How much responsibility business owners and enterprises want to give it, and the risk they want to take, well, we'll see. I'm a little bit slower on that personally. The second thing we look at with big companies is that they're prioritizing capital over headcount. And the reason why is because as the AI implementation gets better and more sophisticated and there's more proof, these companies realize they're going to see exponential returns. It's kind of almost like a winner takes all. If you have the best AI technology with the best AI agents, nobody's going to be able to compete with you. So it's like, well, do we invest $1 here in this technology that has a compounding infinite style return, or do we invest it in humans which are, have different issues, are less reliable, so on and so forth. Now, not to mention, by the way, the infinite scalability once robots come into play. I mean, like Tesla is an expensive stock right now, but I'd be honest, if the Optimus does what's possible, it could be worth an unfathomably large amount. Like if Tesla Optimus robots, like the stuff that is happening at Tesla is absolutely insane. Maybe I'll record a whole video on that, we'll see. And then the third major point here is that we're moving into a stage where results trump wages. And we're moving out of an age where you get paid an hourly amount, or like, hey, we need you to work 40 hours a week and this is what you'll get paid at the end of the week. I don't think that really matters anymore. What matters is the results that you're able to get. What are the results? If I pay you X, what do I get in return? And I think this is actually a good thing for the people like us that are learning, are testing, and using these new tools. Because if you're able to leverage AI to get more done in less time, and you're able to do it well, you become infinitely more valuable, and you can increase the amount that you get paid. You don't need to actually spend 40 hours doing the job in a week if by using AI, you can get it done in 5, okay? So I think that's a really good leverage point. I'm very excited about it. I'm using it. However, there is a dark side, and I just want to kind of close out with this, is that, with the people I'm working with, the things that I see a lot of people taking shortcuts to get stuff done, and they're leveraging these tools, but don't get lazy in the meantime. Like I see people who will just copy and paste ChatGPT and then just post it and be like, I did it. And it's like, well, we all know this is ChatGPT. I think copywriters, journalists, I use ChatGPT to research, guys, but I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Reuters, I'm using Business Insider, I'm using CNBC, I'm using Grok, I'm talking to friends, I'm watching podcasts, I'm compiling information from many different places. And I think that's where a lot of people, especially young people, I think young people are gonna be especially susceptible to this, is you're just gonna prompt ChatGPT, you're gonna prompt your agent, you're just gonna accept whatever it spits out, and you're gonna go from there. But there is gonna be a need for you and your experience and your wisdom and your communication skills to fill those gaps and to make it work. I use a lot of ChatGPT in my marketing terms to like help write copy and stuff, but do I just copy and paste the ChatGPT marketing copy and put it up there? No, I tweak it. I understand it. I know how to test. I don't want it to sound so robotic. And I think this is an important thing to remember as we move away from a wage-based, hourly-based society into a result-based society. I want to close out with this idea. from something I heard from the great Chris Do. Chris Do created a huge brand. He runs the design company Blind. Awesome guy. If you don't know Chris Do, you should check him out. He runs The Future. He built up this large design company called Blind. Anyway, he gives this example because one of his missions is to help 1 billion creators make money doing what they love, okay? And part of that is teaching people how to sell better. And one of the examples he gives, I know this is kind of a big lead up, but one of the examples he gives is he works fast. And when he gets a design task, he gets it done really quickly and gets it back to his customer or client very, very quickly. And what happens is his client or his customer will say, well, why would I pay you $5,000? It only took you 2 nights to do it. And you know what Chris's answer is? He says, well, if you like, I could send it to you in a couple of weeks. If, you know, I could send it to you later if you like, but I charge for speed. I charge for the results more quickly. And that is the mentality I think that we all need to be living in. We're not living in a, well, I'll get it to you in 40 hours because because that's how I get paid. No, it's how quickly can you get me the result? And that's where your value is going to be across the board. All right, boys, thanks for watching today. Make it great. If you like today's video, definitely check out yesterday's video. We hit a 17-year mark. We hit a 17-year high on unemployment and layoffs last month in January. The bloodbath is here. Watch the video, understand the market, understand where you can find opportunities to be successful in this crazy, crazy new world. All right, boys, I'll see you later. Peace.